In today's video, I'm going to bring you a look inside KW Command. I'm updating this video. I've made this a couple times because we keep seeing so much new coming into Command. And if you're just getting started, I really want you to have a good overview of all the things that it can do. I'm not going to take each individual element and show you how to do each piece. That would take us days. There's so much now in there. But I am going to give you a really good look at what Command is, how to use it, what it does, where to find things. And this is a great video to pass on and share with anybody that is new getting started, or somebody that has poked around in there but really isn't that familiar with how much it has grown and all the things that you can do. My name is Lori Ballen, and I'm in Las Vegas, Nevada. I do have a real estate team and would very much appreciate your referrals for Las Vegas, Henderson, and North Las Vegas. You might hear somebody say the word Summerlin. That's where I live, right here in Summerlin, which is an area in Las Vegas. All right, I also have a KW Command coaching group where we learn all of the lead generation strategies that I do, specifically using KW Command. And you can find that at yourcommandcoaching.com or ballenacademy.com. Okay, so what you're going to notice when you first log in is this is your home screen. Okay, now the little house up in the left-hand side takes you to this home screen. So if you're ever lost, this is where you can come back to this central location. You can customize the home screen by clicking on that blue button and checking what you want to appear and deselecting what you don't want to appear. You can also drag and drop these elements to change your home screen just by clicking on those little dots and just drag it around. So you can customize this to look how you want it to. So yours might look a little bit different than mine because I have what's important to me on the dashboard. Up top, you have, this is your command where we are now. Connect will take you to the KW Connect website where you can see other resources. You might be familiar with that. Here you have the ability to select a team. So if you're on a team or have a team, you're going to want to make sure your team is selected when you're working within the applications. This is the marketplace. This is where you can go to find out more information about the third-party integrations, KW Command, email, that type of thing. This little bell is pretty important, and I'm hoping that becomes a lot more predominant because I even miss it when I log in, that little red dot so often. This is your notifications. So when something important is happening in KW Command, communication-wise with your clients, there's a little red dot there that shows up. So if you click it, you're able to see, oh, I got a lead 4 hours ago. Okay, great. You're going to want to take some sort of action on that. Okay, here 19 hours ago, a new lead form. This one, I've got a text coming in from somebody. Now, what I'm able to do from this screen is I can either dismiss them or I can actually click on the lead itself. Right? See where it turns into a little pencil? I don't know if you can see that. Not a pencil, but a little finger pointer. If I'm just kind of hovering, you'll see you can just click right there and it'll take you into that lead directly. And then you can manage the lead from within there. You can respond to text, you can respond to email, that type of thing. And then once I have taken care of all those, then I'll click dismiss and I won't have that red notification anymore until the next thing comes in. Right here we have your tasks. So this is your tickler file, your to-do list, the things that are going to be important for you that day. If you click on tasks, you can actually, I'm going to open that, and oh, it won't let me open a new window. Okay, let me click that so I can show you. You can actually get within the larger dashboard related to tasks. So if you want to do things within here, you just click that little tasks button and it'll take you into the task dashboard. But additionally, you can do some things from here. And when they're doing updates, sometimes it takes me a few times to reload to get the home screen to repopulate. So we'll give that just a second. But when our tasks appear, we have the ability to check the little box and get that task to disappear completely from here. I'll show you on the right-hand side, since this just populated while we're waiting for the task to fill back in. These are recent leads. Now, I want to share with you something I discovered is there are leads showing up in here that are not new leads. And it has to do with them being put on a smart plan or when they're communicated with. I have not figured that all out yet, but it's not all leads that literally just came in by the minute. So I have to find out what's populating that. This is a new widget that we haven't had for too long, but this is where new leads will show up. Okay. In here, we can click on the little arrow and you can see the person's phone number and their email. And if you click the three dots to the right, you can unmark them as a lead or add them to a smart plan. So if you know what it is right here without diving in any deeper, you can do those things from here. We can also click on Alberta and then her whole contact record would open and we can work from there. On this left-hand side is where your tasks appear. Now, here's something that you need to hear. This is so, so important. And I see people getting frustrated because they don't know this and they make the same mistake. If you put somebody on an automation of any kind, an SMS, text message, an email, if you put them on those automatic things and there's anything wrong with the text, the phone number, or the application that you have connected to send those emails or tasks, they actually show up in your task list. So let me give you an example. If I put this person, H. Garcia, I put him on a smart plan, and in that smart plan I have emails and I have text messages. Now I have connected Twilio so that my text messages will go out automatically. I've also connected KW Command email so that my emails will go automatically. But because H. Garcia did not have a phone number when he registered, that to-do text now shows up as a manual task. So what I'm finding is that I think it's worthy of our time to create two separate smart plans. One with phone numbers and one without phone numbers. Because I don't like all these to-dos showing up and I get a ton of leads that don't have phone numbers. They need to go in my smart plan that has no text messages so that they don't just show up as a to-do. And you don't really know, there's not anything here that says to you, Twilio didn't work. It more says, configure Twilio. So it's not saying like, hey, this person was missing a phone number, that's why they didn't get the text. So because I know this, I know what I can do from here. Okay, now to get these to go away from our task dashboard here, you can literally just check the little checkbox. It'll say, do you want to mark this task as complete? You're going to say yes. Excuse me. Even though it says do not show me this task again, that message still keeps coming up. Now, what'll happen though is that H. Garcia, if he is in a smart plan, which is your automatic emails and text messages, if he's in a smart plan, the next time to send him a text message, he's going to show back up again in my task list. So what I might want to do is remove him from that smart plan and put him in one without a phone number. Otherwise, I just know it's going to keep showing up here, okay? And I won't always know why. So sometimes I might have to click through and look at Felix and say, okay, oh, he must have a bad phone number because there's a phone number in there and Twilio's connected, but he's showing up with a text message. That actually means he has a bad phone number. So I would want to go in and take that phone number out. Okay. So these are just some things, little things that I have figured out along the way that might help you. Okay. Be careful about putting all of your people on smart plans and they're all showing up as to-dos. So for example, if you don't have Twilio connected, they're all going to show up with to-dos, send a text message. A bunch of them have multiple phone calls. So now all of these tasks are going to show up in your dashboard that say call somebody. You really need to be strategic about who you're putting on smart plans and what smart plans you're putting them on. Smart plans are, we have a bunch in the library here, and I built a bunch. My brothers, Jeff and Paul, out over at Ballen Brands, they've started a KW Command division called Command Leads. You can go to commandleads.com, and they are now building and selling custom smart plans, websites, bundles to get you started with KW Command. They run your Facebook ads and things like that. So you definitely can reach out to them. Right now, I'm just personally building my own, but they build and sell them based on what I create. Okay. So you're going to want to make sure you know every step that's in the smart plan, and I'll cover the smart plans a little bit when I get into the left-hand side, when I get into the applets. Okay. Just watch that. Watch your task thing, because if it gets to be too much, you'll just end up ignoring it. Trust me, I know. So that's something to be aware of. Okay. Here I have my product update. So these are all the new things that are coming. I have a notepad here. And then these are what's new in designs. You can play with yours and add goals or anything you want to your dashboard. But this kind of just gives you a look at that home screen. Up here, you'll see your picture and your name. If you drop that little arrow down, this is where you can access your settings. And if you follow my videos, you're going to see a lot that we go into settings to set up our marketing profile. We go into settings to set up custom tags. We go into settings to manage our database wipes or archives, things like that. So you're going to want to know where that is. So that's up here under settings. It's not on the left-hand side. And then this little question mark is fantastic. That's your help. And so if you're on any page and you run into any issues, click the little question mark, and you actually can chat with support, post an idea, or drop down help from Keller Williams University. I highly recommend this first one. It is packed with guides and tutorials, and they've done a fantastic job with creating screen captures, step by step, very clear, easy to understand. So everyone should be using that for sure. All right, underneath the home button, we have contacts. So contacts is one of my favorite, contacts and designs are actually my favorite elements right now in KW Command. And I really like how much we can actually do with contacts. And if you aren't doing anything else, contacts is a fantastic place to be right now. You're able to, let me just type in, I'm going to type in Tinkerbell so that we can find somebody that doesn't have a real phone number to look at. All right, so what you have here is you have the person's information. You can add them to a smart plan. You can edit them, or you can archive them. You cannot just delete a contact. It's a multi-step process. So what you're actually going to do is archive them from here. They go into your archive, and from your archives, you actually can delete them or even wipe an entire database. But it's a two-step process. So what happens is if you archive somebody and then you ever go to put in that email again, it's going to give you an error message. And the reason why is because that person's already still in your archives. So they're just not visible, but they're still in there. Okay. You have your contact's health score. I've got other videos that teach you about the contact health score. If you don't know what anything on the screen is, remember you have this little question mark. You could type something in like contact health score. And let's see what comes up. Nothing. Health score. There we go. Health report. Okay, choose the report. There we go. So name is 20%. Phone number is 20%. Email is 20%. Physical address is 20% of that score. And then social media tags, home anniversary, birthday, and work, company, or title each equal 4%. That's what makes up this score. So the goal is that you would be working on getting your contacts up to 100% score, or as high as you can get them, by filling in all of those key points. The scoring system is really just a guide for how well you're working with your database. How efficiently are you getting the key information that's going to help you communicate with that person? Right now, it's not for some prize or something unless your market center is doing that directly, which I have seen some do. Now, for somebody like me, this is going to be extra hard because I generate so many web leads. And they most often come in with just an email or just an email and a first name or maybe a phone number, but not much beyond that. So it's really hard to fill in their birthdays and key information. So I personally don't worry about it too much. But I really think it's great for somebody that's on a team that's working with clients or somebody that's really sphere of influence driven. You're working your geographic farm. You're going to want to get that info in there as much as you possibly can. You can see the lead source, who the owner of the lead is, who it's assigned to, the stage at which it's at. So if it's a captured lead or it's connected, and you can go in there and change all of this in your edits. We have the ability to add neighborhoods and neighborhood guides and neighborhood nurtures based on the neighborhood that they're in. I cover all of these things in depth separately, so if you want to dive into any one of those things, you're going to want to make sure you look at my playlist, 365 Days of Command. Now, we also have their preferred contact method, their email, their phone number, their address, their social connection, their Facebook. And on the right-hand side, we have this file, this tickler file of all these things that are happening with that lead. So I can see what emails have been sent. I can see text messages back and forth. I can see the communication. If there's any notes in here, I can see the notes. I can see unsubscribes, and these unsubscribes are all me taking them out of the neighborhood. If you take them out of a neighborhood, it will also show unsubscribed. That's just the word right now. I hope that changes in the future. You have your timeline of everything that's happened. You have your opportunity stages. You have your smart plans. So these are all of those plans that I was talking about that you're going to put on for some automated communication and for some to-dos for your task list. You have the ability to add notes here, which I like to add if I sent them a card or if I want to make notes about what campaign they came from or the URL or the IP address or any of those advanced tracking metrics that I like to store. We had a quick conversation, I might make a note. Okay, and then we have saved searches. We'll work on more of that as it develops. And at the bottom here, you have this little plus sign. Now, I want you to keep something in mind. Anytime you're using command and you get a blank white screen, look for a plus sign because most often that's going to take you to your next step where you need to be. So I'm going to click plus signs and arrows. So I'm going to click on this little plus sign, and up top here, I can add an activity, which would be like a meeting or a phone call. I can add a note. I can add a calendared event, which will actually work directly with my Google Calendar. And all of that happens right there within Contacts. So Contacts is absolutely fabulous. It is not perfect. As they are making new updates, we're still seeing things change, come and go. But for the most part, it's a really tremendous place to start working with command is within your within your contacts. Next on your list here is the tasks applet. I already showed you that. You're able to work within here, and you can click through to see your tasks. You can snooze them, you can trash them, you can archive them. Okay. Now going on to the next major piece, which is smart plans, which is another one of my favorite pieces now that we have the ability to create custom smart plans. This is if you go to the library. So when I click on my smart plans, these are all of my personal smart plans that I have brought in from the library or that I have edited or that I have created. These are mine. We have people plans, referral plans, opportunity plans, and listing plans. Those are all still in the works. Over here we have library. Now these are all of the smart plans that KW has given us. If you click on the steps, you are able to see what is in the smart plan. And if you hover over it, you can see the text messages that are being sent on your behalf. If you don't want them sent on your behalf, you have two options. One, don't add them to the smart plan. Two, don't connect Twilio. Twilio is the text software that is being used to send these text messages out. But why you would want people on a smart plan that you don't have automated text, that doesn't make sense to me. Instead, you'd be better off editing and removing the text messages from the smart plan if you don't want it there. And you can do that or create a new one. Unless you want those to show up in a to-do, so then you know exactly what to type. That's your call. That's a lot of work. That's your call. Oops, sorry about that. So that's smart plans on the left-hand side. Now, to edit a smart plan, you can just go over to the library, and you're going to add that smart plan to your library by clicking Add Smart Plan. And then once it's in your library here, you can click on the little pencil and you can edit. Okay? Not every smart plan is completely editable. They'll let you edit a message or whatever, but you might not be able to edit the days or the times that it's sent. So you might want to instead go to Create and Start a New Smart Plan. So if you want to create your own new smart plan, watch my video on creating a new smart plan, and I take you step by step how to use the merge file, how to include a hyperlink. And one thing to keep in mind, at least as of right now, is there's no signatures in there automatically. So I'm adding dash Lori Ballen or whatever in the signatures. If you have any licensing requirements or anything like that, you want to make sure that you put them in there. There's no template yet to save the signature in there. Okay. Now, something to note is that your smart plans are sent using KW command email. And that is not a permanently free solution. It's free up to a certain amount of sends every month. I believe it's 5,000. Is it 5,000? We'd have to go look at the settings. You can look at the pricing. It actually calculates and tells you in your reports how many emails you've used. But every time you send an email out of your smart plans, you're going to be using command email. And once you hit a certain point, you would need to upgrade or pay for the next one. It's all very affordable, but it's something to note. Where mass email is still being used, MailChimp is still what we're using for broadcasting a newsletter, sending a mass email. Okay, we're still using that integration right now for those of us that are doing that. Okay, next we have referrals. And of course, I have a whole hour, whatever long it is, session on referrals. Referrals is a place where you can send and receive referrals, and they will be tracked, although my numbers are not correct there. I'm not sure what's going on there. But when you click through, you can see the referral, you can see information, communication about it. You can also send and receive referrals to people based on production, location, number of units in a particular area. So definitely watch my complete lesson on referrals when you're ready to dive into that. Okay. Next, we have campaigns. Campaigns is where your paid campaigns happen. So this would be paid Google, Twitter ads, Google ads, Twitter ads, Instagram ads, Twitter. What am I forgetting? Oh, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Google ads. And then also if you do any direct mail campaigns through campaigns that are being sent through real mailers, you can do that all here. If you watch my video on how to create a postcard in Designs and then how to mail it, in campaigns, couple steps, you could do one or the other or both. Then you can see how to do direct mail. So that would show up here in your campaigns as well. You also have these new fantastic widgets that tell you how your ads are performing, how much you've spent, how many leads you've gotten, your campaigns, your engagement. This works in leads to gold works in conjunctions with your goals that you set up in reports. And then you have your ability to manage all of your social accounts right here that it's being connected with. You have your top performing campaigns, your lowest cost per lead campaign. This is, right now I've just got it for the last 30 days. Engagement. And then you have these unbelievable quick posts. Watch how simple this is. If I just click on this little arrow here, it actually creates for me a social post, types in a message, puts in my app link, does all of that for me, and all I have to do is click schedule post and put it on my calendar, or click to publish immediately. I can do that right here if I want to. And here I can preview what it's going to look like. So there's the text. These are amazing. And you can shuffle these. So let's just say you've already done all these three. You can shuffle them and it'll bring in some more. Now, there aren't a lot of these yet. I'm hoping they bring us some more. You can edit the picture if that house doesn't look like a house where you are. You can do all of that still when you click Quick Post. Look at this. They even have little emojis in the text message. So I love, love, love these Quick Posts. Those are one of my favorite elements of the social components of KW Command. You've also got tips and training down here that teaches you how to create a smart video, a neighborhood smart video, how to send a newsletter campaign, and how to track campaign results. I have videos of all those in this series, but you have access when you're logged in here, and I think that's so nice. And then you can click see more and access more. So they're doing a really, really great job with bringing us training within the system, which is fantastic. Next, you have reports, and there is so much coming along with reports. I really need to do a separate dive in. I've been kind of avoiding reports myself, basically because the way we had got set up, it really didn't look, it looked like I was able to see what people on my team were doing and things like that. So I was kind of avoiding that. Now it looks like it's really coming along. So it's really fun to be able to measure total records, the contacts, the leads, and then you can even pull up by the agent on your team and see how they're doing and where their closings are coming from based on the lead sources. When you click on reports, you can do all kinds of things: buyer opportunities, contact opportunities, listing opportunities. Again, we have listings, they're not showing up there. So those are some of the elements still that we're trying to work through with reporting. But this is going to be an absolutely amazing tool for the individual agent right out of the box. And then for those of us that are on teams, we're still trying to get that to where it's all working correctly. Let me try year to date and see what we get. Nope, still not getting the listings. So, but if you're an individual agent, this is going to be so good and so easy to read and manage your production now and what you're doing. And then here is your ability to set up your goals. So, you know, we always set up our business plan for the year. You can sit down and figure out how much money you want to make, and then it will help you figure out how many leads, how many contacts, how many appointments set, and then your leads will be measured then in the dashboard against your goals here. So it's a great way to track and monitor your own progress. And then designs. I absolutely love designs. I think whoever is working designs is phenomenal. These are all the templates that I've created. When you first log into designs, which is where you're going to create graphics, these are going to be business cards, email signatures, postcards, social posts, Facebook headers, website images, landing pages. Your website pages now are even in designs, video, all kinds of things. So when you think design, obviously that's here. I've created a ton of designs now that I've played with. When you first log in here, though, this will be a blank white screen. These top buttons here, these are filters that help you filter through the designs you've already created. So that's not the place you go to create a new design, but that's where you go to filter designs you've already created. You can also search here. I have 132 designs right now, so it's a lot of filtering. Now, if I click the plus sign at the bottom right, I'm now able to create an email. Now, email designs are still on the way because of how the email integrations are working. We do have a really nice newsletter template. So if you have MailChimp activated and you are wanting to do mass emails, there's a nice newsletter in there for that. And I have a complete video on how to do that as well. Social posts, Facebook stories, Instagram stories, Twitter, we have all of that. We have print, listing presentations, buyer presentations, postcards, flyers, brochures, all of those are in print. Video, right now we have our neighborhood videos that we're making. I've got videos on how to do that. You can import a PDF and you can import photos and text from a listing as well. All of that in designs, and they're gorgeous. And then we have listings. This is coming. And then insights, which we all kind of got started with, and then it kind of fizzled out. So we're going to kind of, I'm kind of waiting and not really doing much with insights, watching to see where it's headed, what they're actually going to do with it. The concept was, hey, you could go find something on the map and you can add information about that particular area, but we haven't really seen how that's working with other real estate agents and where that's appearing. So I'm kind of holding off on that. And then we have landing pages. That's actually supposed to say consumer. Let me go back to the home page and see if that changes back. There it goes, consumer. So that tab has changed names a few times. Consumer is where you can find everything about your website, your landing pages, your standalone landing pages, your neighborhood pages, your guide builder, that is your home buyer steps and seller steps that work with the app, and then all of your site and app settings. So this is where you're going to go to create new landing pages, new websites, that kind of thing. I've got great videos on how to build your website, how to build an open house sign-in sheet, how to build a home value landing page, whatever it is that you want. Now, what you need to know, though, is after you create a page for your website, it's editable then in designs. So that's a new thing, and people are really lost on that. And there's no real pop-ups telling us what has changed, so that's important to note, that if you go try to edit it, you need to go to designs to find it now. And you can only put 10 designs, 10 pages in your website navigation. So KW Command website looks like this. This is my KW Command website. Up here, you have this little drop down arrow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Is that, I think home is 10. If you make more than that, you're going to have a problem. You're going to have a problem finding them and filtering them and putting them in your menu. So again, that's not something that I was told at any time, but this is what we have discovered. Is as we were going through this, we're like, oh, if we build more than 10, it won't even filter them and show them on our adding a menu. So it's a little bit tricky when it comes to that kind of stuff. Again, my brothers, Jeff and Paul over at Ballen Brands, commandleads.com, build out these websites. If you need help with it, you can follow the Kelly guide. You can do it on your own. But if you're like, no, I need somebody to do this for me, that's where Jeff and Paul at Ballen Brands come in, okay? We have more coming, but I think that's a really good overview for you of all of those elements. I have core lessons on each one of those applets individually. So wherever you are, wherever you want to get started, you can dive into that training. All right. I hope this was helpful to you. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'm making videos every day, 365 days of KW Command. I'm Lori Ballen in Las Vegas, Nevada.